I discovered yesterday that we had a leak under one of our bathroom sinks. Unfortunately, it had soaked some of the cabinet, soaked through a few boxes of Kleenex that were being stored down there. We are now ready to start a repair.
This was leaking here?
It was the best I could surmise. It was coming down there.
And when you try to turn this valve, it started leaking here. If you only replace this water supply line, you can shut this valve. You replace from here to here. But in our situations, this also leak, and therefore we have to replace the valve. So when you replace the valve, you have to really shut the main water supply off. And this is the cold water supply, and this is the hot one. For hot ones, most likely the water heater has a valve. You can shut that main valve. But for the cold one, you have to find the one in your house, or in our case, we have to go to the street to shut the main valve. The main valve is outside. Use a screwdriver to open the cover.
Oh, I see where you are turning this thing right there. Don't cover it. Okay, there.
You can use a wrench like this, but this is not easy to turn, a little bit too small. Another way to do is, see, this is a bigger wrench. You can use this to turn it like a 1/4 inch, so it's not as tight. And then you vertically put this in, and then use a screwdriver like this. And this way you can turn it easily. You can use the screwdriver to turn it. This is the first way. You use this, a small one. And the second one, a bigger wrench, but vertical. You use the screwdriver on the top to turn it. This is the second way. A third way, you use like a socket. Use the socket, just go there to turn it. Some people buy special tool. I don't have the special tool. That's why I'm using whatever is available for me. So before that, we need to drain all the water. See, there's still a little bit water in the pipe. So once we shut the main valve, you have to do this. And then I will open this valve and to let more water out.
So you've already turned off the water outside or not?
Right.
In other words, just to make sure that the pipes are emptied.
Right.
And that you're not going to get water suddenly dripping all over everywhere.
Right. For this one, you really need a 2 wrench. One wrench is on the top, so you can hold this, and the second wrench is using here. When you move it, the 2 wrench need to be moved the opposite way, so they can this can be disconnected.
So as you can see, we have a couple of containers down in the bottom of the cabinet to catch the drips. They've been there since yesterday just to catch the leaking water, and now they're being used because, of course, whenever you loosen the pipes under the sink, there's going to be some amount of water dripping out.
So the next one, you need to remove the water supply. This is the new water supply. A little bit more expensive, more flexible, and the old one is not as flexible. It's sometimes a leak because of so rigid. And this is the valve called the angle valve. On this side is 1/2 inch compression. The other one is, I think, it's compression, but I'm not using this one. I will just put this thread over here. I'm going to replace this the old one with the new one.
What makes it leak in the first place?
Look at this, just not tight enough, or the rubber one is too old, or it's maybe the part's too cheap. Once it's leaking, it's the best you replace it. The price is, I bought today, the valve is $7, the water supply is $4.
And the old one, I think we replaced probably about 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago. It's lasted a while.
Most time when you don't know which way to turn, you use a new one and try to play it. This way is loose. Use the wrench to loose this. When you remove it,
But this base, you have to use something else to hold it. And I'm showing you use this wrench to hold it, and then use this wrench here, removing like this. And now this comes off.
What are you trying to pull out?
Inside, there's a little bit ring. That's the compression.
Oh, I see. So it's on the outside of that pipe.
You want to turn it, but you don't want to press the tube in so it's no longer round. You can damage the compression, but not the inside the tube.
Damage the compression piece, but not the pipe itself.
This is the compression piece. You can finally this wiggle off. So this is the old one. So the first is the nut. And then after the nut is this compression ring here. You put your valve in, which thread is in. Use tool wrench. Install the new, just the reverse. Remember, use the tool wrench to tighten this. Install the valve, and then once the valve is installed, you can install the water supply. Remember, still you need a tool wrench, and on the top the wrench is stationary. Make sure that doesn't move, and you try to move the this wrench lower. Finally, you can install this one. This is just pretty easy. You can use a small wrench, turn this.
So here are the pieces we're working with primarily. First, there is the 1/2-inch copper pipe that is coming out from the wall that is connecting to an angle valve. Okay, so the angle valve connects, also has that 1/2-inch connection where it meets the pipe. And then on the top of the valve is a 3/8-inch connector which meets with this flexible water pipe. The flexible water pipe is of course connecting to the faucet at the very top. This flexible water pipe is 3/8 inch at the bottom where it meets the valve, 1/2 inch at the top where it meets the pipe going to the faucet, the copper pipe up there.